Ernest Kumi had 19,269 votes. Henry Yadomboache had 17,206 votes. Total valid votes 36,475.
Ernest Kumi Emrasha Bejania wo Akwatia ene Koforidie High Court. Ede ensa ashakrata say security service ahodro BNI will be a da baby a obehu no won so ne pechi emfa ne nko ginemu e wo court said ye be ya obekọ akwa yiye nsem bi se bi ano na ne na ada ene senya na kire say election 2024 about a course we yenya constituencies be se enkron na say contention ewo ho me kire contention na kire say ya dia result ahodo e ba ye no NDC parliamentary candidate ahodo ani MPP4 no na akoye twema mentwi we si me na me fa we si ye wiem ni na no na akwakoye nsense bebre constituencies bi ye dome kwabenya ablekuma north damango afensu no nsawoma dredri ewutu senya east ena techiman south sanso so ena Akwatia so eka ho ena eye ahafo ano north na Akwatia ka ho na tesa Akwatia de ene ne ye ba bebobo so na no nam so ema eye nipa woni no egina ye ewo mpeso ye ne so ewo NDC din mu eye papa ye friend ne say Henry Buache ye adom ena wode eye ne petition ekodan court e wokoforidua say yade a abrantie Ernest Kumi abato no ekama say ye wiemu e de amano na wono enya de obeji atomo enti court ni ndi na asem ne bi emfa emma no enum ana che say abrantie on the 7th year yeso ye mampani in everywhere yeso MPC eye Ernest Kumi etimi kokopie mu ewo ho ekopem say na yade a yaso no in ewo Tesano National Police Training Center ewo nkran ha ye declare no se wono ene ye MP into otumi call Parliament House wo ema ye swear no in as MPFor Akwatia yenko ne kwhye bra na ye swear ni anase ye declare no as MPFor Akwatia no.
Ernest Kumi had 19,269 votes. Henry Yadomboache had 17,206 votes. Total valid votes 36,475. Total rejected 294. Total vote cast 36,769. With this, or based on the results so far, based on the results mentioned, and on behalf of the chairperson, I declare Ernest Kumi as the MP elect for Akwatia constituency. Thank you very much.
Arafonti video I extra say ye bra Ernest Kumi ene fa aba no ene ye kokoshe ya na say so wonya 19,269 votes sanso so ena Henry Buache Yadom so nya 17,206 votes na say sa ena video ye kohwe ye come na eno na say nei no wokokotena mu e wo court anase wokogire mu wo court a yade a Ernest Kumi empie mu e wo court ho na enye de kwa na ye de dikan ya wankwan kopie mu wo court na say bra asem no kodru court ho ni nna no enya de a wono wotu ne nan esi court ho na emom ne lawyer Gary Nimako ena ya wokogire mu ma no na emom no ye sembre mu no e wo senka wono gire mu wo court ma no e wo senka wo file for presence e de ma no nanso na enya de a wo file e de ma no na emom no eye letter a free minority caucus eho ene baaye na letter no nke wo se bi free parliament e ba enka clerk ne ade mpanifo e work parliament ni na ensa sha se nanso letter free minority caucus ho ene kokopie mu e wo ho a eye judge ote asem no secretary o mo say edi kan wakatra brantie say enye say wokọ ma yede no esi ade so anase ye swear ni in as MP enti no wono on regarding anase wo hu ne say ye MP enti sa krata ne kromode aba no yade a wabo ato egu anache say nei no wode ye bench warrant aba bonten say ye nche no na ye mfa no emra asem dibia eho enti ye bekọ ne akohwe video ewo ye ensema wodre course wo court we ne ye bo ne tofa no ye nkwenkohwe bi emra
Koforidua, where a high court has issued a bench warrant to arrest a member of parliament for Akwatia, Ernest Kumi, for contempt of court. The conviction comes after he disobeyed an interim injunction prohibiting him from being sworn in and admitted as a member of parliament for Akwatia. The judge, however, Justice Senyo Amedahe, held that the convict throughout the hearing of the contempt case failed to appear in court in person. He also rejected a letter from the minority in parliament claiming the MP was busy with parliamentary duties, hence his continuous absence from court. Now let's get more from Eastern Region's Kofi Siaon. Kofi, what's the updates? Has the member of parliament, by now I'm sure if he hasn't been issued with a warrant, by now I'm sure he has had it. But tell me, how did we arrive at this?
Okay, so you know, or we all know that on January 7th, on January 6th, rather, the court placed an interim injunction on Ernest Kumi, that is the member of parliament elect for the Akwatia constituency, prohibiting him from holding himself up as the member of parliament for the Akwatia constituency. But he presented himself, he disobeyed the court order, that is what the court says, and presented himself to parliament, and he was sworn in as the member of parliament for the area. So following that, the NDC filed a contempt application in court led by their counsel, Bernard Bedia Kubedu. And the court heard the case today. And in their ruling, in the court's ruling, the judge, Senyo Amedehe, says that the MP, Ernest Kumi, disobeyed the court orders by not adhering to the interim injunction placed on him and presented himself in parliament for him to be sworn in as a member of parliament. So the court says, the court also added that there was a letter from parliament, the minority caucus of parliament, telling the court that the MP could not be present in court because he has some parliamentary duties to perform. But the judge, in his own wisdom, says that it is not the minority caucus that can, make these claims. If anybody could make it, it could come from the speaker or the clerk of parliament. So he never admitted that and gave his ruling and said that even though the MP wasn't in court, he has convicted him and issued a bench warrant for his arrest. So when he appears in court, when he's arrested, that is when the sentencing or any other conviction, the true sentencing will be pronounced in court.
I'm definitely aware that the NPP persons in that constituency that voted for him. Have you had any reactions from these MPP voters?
Okay, so a few of them were in court today, and from the look on their faces, it shows disappointment. Some were, frustrated with the ruling, and they were shocked that the judge could convict the member of parliament for the NPP side in Akwatia.
Right. Thank you, Kofi.
Ada for video no ene yekwahwe ba ye nchirechiremu ne nti yekoba ye nei Ernest Kumi nei no yache no anasa ye kwahwehwe no ache no na before that no ye hu videos be of him wako parliament house wo free ho ne ade ni na ene ya nso ye nyante ye say yade ye wura ye chamber nim na mom no brasa ye kase boy anasa mane boy ba bonten pe ene wo free chamber ho ekoye na mom no nhwehwe mama ye hu say yade nei no nya wo parliament house wo de police bi entimi enkoho enkonkoche no sanso so eno free parliament house so se wo kwa enya de ombetimi akoche no ekopem say ebia obedru ne fie empo se tena no pa no wote ne ka mu se wo kwa parliament house enya de obi abetimi ache no because ne nana ewo emrem so far as our parliamentary duties no enya de a emra no ene ne bedi anase ye beche no And so never konya question chichema wo dron so eno so e course so e wo Joy Prime. I Emra.
Go on phone now and speak to my colleague Kweku Asante, a parliamentary correspondent. Kweku, I am curious, have you seen this member of parliament in parliament today or any other day?
Well, yes, MPFor, as soon as the news broke that the member of parliament had been convicted for contempt, we did see the member of parliament in the chamber. He walked in pretty shortly, and then he walked out. For about 30 seconds, he was in the chamber, and then ultimately he walked out when the issues had just been raised. I was unable to speak to him specifically. In fact, I did track him down. I followed him when he did come down. And he, in his words, sometimes we journalists have to be sensitive to our needs members of parliament. And so he refused to speak to me on the record about the bench warrant that has been issued against him. But he has indeed been to parliament. He has been in the chamber. He was there for about 30 minutes. I've shared videos. I don't know if you can share that. But he was in the chamber. After some time, he left. He did have some discussion with some very senior members of his caucus, the second deputy speaker, and other members of the minority caucus. After some time, he left that side and then walked straight to the Justice 100, where we expect that he will be in his office and perhaps will lead the precincts of parliament.
Well, let's explore this a little further, Kweku. Prior to today, has he been quite active in parliament?
Well, yes, Ernest Kumi has been coming to parliament every now and then. Of course, he does not speak almost all the time. I think in the last week or two, I've seen him speak once on the floor about a statement that was delivered, but he has not been one of the very busy or one of the MPs who have been really at the forefront of leading proceedings in parliament. But he has been around a couple of times. Almost all the time I see him, he's the backbencher. He sits one seat to the back. And so it's just the penultimate seat to the very back bench at the minority side. And so he's been around a couple of times, but he has not been very much active in terms of speaking, contributing to statements, and making all these comments in parliament. But he has been coming around here.
Right, Kweku, what does this really mean for the minority in parliament?
Well, ultimately, we don't know yet what the strategy will be. We know that the standing orders and the constitution provides that a member of parliament cannot be arrested when he is in parliament, when he is on his way to parliament, or he on his way from parliament. And so in all these three circumstances, he cannot be arrested. If he stays in parliament from now till late or whenever, he cannot be arrested. When he closes from parliament and is on his way to his house, he cannot be arrested unless he reaches his home, and then he can be arrested. Tomorrow morning, if he's on his way to parliament, he cannot be arrested. Those are the immunities that exist for members of parliament with regard to the power to arrest and all that. Also, the minority perhaps may enlist the support of the speaker by getting him to append his signature to a document in the court that the member of parliament has not been coming to court because of this or that reason, for which reason he should not be convicted of contempt or what have you. We don't know if that will inform the judge's opinion to go against the decision to convict him, or he will proceed to sentence him or rescind the bench warrant. That is all up to the judge, and we do not know now what exactly will happen in the coming days. We'll get to speak to the leadership.
Oh no, I don't want to.
What exactly?
Right.
Going forward, and how this bench is doing.
Kweku, before your network will freeze on me again, a very quick one. Do you think that the court is going to recognize him as an MP, which then will make him immune to these provisions that the Constitution allows, that he cannot arrest a member of parliament whilst he's conducting parliamentary duties? Now, there's some contention on that seat, which means that there's no clarity as to whether that seat has been declared in the name of the NPP, and even more to him, Kumi. And so do you think that this immunity in the Constitution can apply to him legitimately?
Well, that is something that we will need to see what the opinion of the judge will be, ultimately when it publishes a detailed ruling. But as we speak, it is undisputed that Ernest Kumi has actually been sworn in Parliament. He has taken his seat as a member of parliament. He has been accorded all the privileges of members of parliament. In fact, there's been no challenge on the floor as to his suitability of parliament. So the presumption of regularity will follow that because he has been sworn in as a member of parliament, he's been performing his duties as a member of parliament. It would stand to reason that for now, he's a member
Thank you.
Adafon interest ma ho don so atwagu ye e wo Joy Prime so ene de aba bedan wo no enti sabre ya me no kasa na se MPFor Akwatia Ernest Kumi ene ne Koforidua High Court e de bench warrant anase wo hye ato no so say baby a security service anase bia na wo behu no bia no wonche no emfa ne kogirem e wo asem bia na ensem ahodro e wo ho no say ye kwadu ene wo de bebo no na say entoto ano ene wo betoto na wo de ato no na sam prempre ye no kasa de yade a court na finding guilty nunti ena ye issue bench warrant for contempt no ekopem se court ne de wo hye bi eto ne so se emane nko mayemfa ne ngine mu se mrashe bendreni for Akwatia nenso no wo ya so breche ekoye enti adafo ha Richmond's media bo homode so be follow social media no so ba bia Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube ba bia no ye ho hye so se ne na e de kan wo hye ye dia wo be subscribe na wa like na wa share videos na mafofo so ensetimi aka bi na afi what no notification icon no se de be de be gu ha bia no so benya bi na wa share me de ni PSA ma me fo sa ba de pena ensem foforo be so fem afa we hu ensem foforo bia no ye de be ba aba bedan wo ya crowd.